Hello, thanks for joining me. I hope you're well, and welcome to my review of this Royal Enfield Bullet 24 model. Welcome to the Staffordshire Moorlands on a bit of a moist day. There are clouds about. There is a little bit of rain about, but hey, I'm going to get on with it anyway. So, the Royal Enfield Bullet. It's the motorcycle that's been in continuous production for the longest period of time. It holds the record for, I believe it goes back to 1932 in one form or another. Now in those days, of course, it would have been Enfield in England. And these Enfields are made in India now, have been for some time, since the demise of the British bike industry. But it does actually hold this intriguing record. Now, as some of you will know, I've already owned a Royal Enfield Classic 350 about 18 months ago, and I was seduced by something a little bit more powerful in the form of a Triumph Bonneville and went away from the Enfield mark for a little while. But I always felt that these little bikes, they sort of get under your skin. And well, here I am 18 months later. The Triumph has set sail for new pastures, and I'm back on the Enfield, and I'll make no bones about it. This review, I'll try to say warts and all, but I'm quite besotted by these little bikes, as many of the owners who I talk to will testify. They do get under your skin. They do everything you need a bike to do. Are there any pitfalls? Well, we'll come to that in a bit, but they're a smashing little bike. So I'll pin my colours to the mast, so it'll be generally, it's going to be a glowing report. Now, let's just have a quick look at what we've got. I did a walk round of my bike when I first had it, so much of this was on there. But you've got a 350cc J Series Royal Enfield single cylinder 4-stroke 2-valve head. It pumps out about 20 brake horsepower and about, from memory, I think it's 27 newton meters of torque at about 4,000 revs or something like that. It's very close to that figure anyway. So all the torque's down low, which is where you want it. So for those of you that think 20 brake horsepower isn't enough, well, that's the elephant in the room, isn't it, with these little bikes? Is 20 brake horsepower enough? Well, I'd say it depends how you want to use it. How do you want to use this bike? If you want to use it for this sort of stuff, tickling about the country lanes, or city work perhaps, they're an ideal little bike. Absolutely perfect. You know, when I had the Classic 350, I said in one of my vlogs on the Classic 350 that you don't buy this in spite of it having 20 brake horsepower, but you buy it because it's got 20 brake horsepower. It really does outperform much better than you'd expect it to. This little bike has been refined over all those years, and they've got it right. They've got it spot on in my view. But anyway, the detail of the job, let's have a look. So, what have we got? We've got a 19-inch front wheel and an 18-inch back wheel, sporting tubed tyres, a brand called Seat. Now, not Seat in the car firm, but C-E-A-T. I imagine they're an Indian firm, and they are perfectly suited to the performance of this little bike. They've never ever given me any cause for concern. They work perfectly well. We've got spoke wheels, we've got metal mud guards. Incidentally, one of the differences between the classic 350 and this Bullet 350 is indeed the rear mudguard, just the shape of it. I believe they hark back to different eras actually. I believe this harks back to sort of styled, broadly speaking, on a 1950s bike, whereas the classic 350 is basically goes back even further to the 1930s. But essentially one of the differences is the mudguard. So we've got metal mudguards. All the bulbs all around the bike are bulbs. There's no LED trickery and fan dabby dozy stuff on this. It's just plain simple old-fashioned bulbs. And as we move up to the we've got the Royal Enfield headlight nacelle that talks back to days gone by, and set in the nacelle we've got a speedo and a small digital readouts. Now in the readout we've got a fuel gauge, an odometer, 2 trip meters and a clock, and that's it. Perhaps somebody can tell me in the comments below that when I turn this on, the first thing that I see in the digital part is there's a number comes up. I think it's something like 12501 or something like that. Now I've probably got that completely wrong. I'll have a look in a minute when I stop. But I wonder what that was. Is that on everybody's, or is there a different number on other people's, or is that I don't know, a software thing, or I don't know what it is. Can anybody explain to me what that is? Because I'm not quite sure. But now one of the right, so we've got beautiful chrome on this particular Bullet. We've got lovely clutch and brake levers. The switch gear is basic, but I think it's of a great quality. I really do. I don't see anything wrong with the switch gear at all. The left hand side, all we've got is the high beam, the indicator, the horn, and there's a button in front, a front button which shows you the cycles through the digital part of the speedo. So the trips and the time and that sort of stuff, the odometer. The right hand side is just a kill switch, the electric start and hazard warnings. That's all you've got. Now it comes with what they call Mickey Mouse mirrors, standard motorcycle mirrors. This particular variant, this particular one, when I bought it had bar end mirrors. Well, the bar ends aren't standard, they are an extra. I don't even have the bike, my particular bike didn't come with the standard mirrors. So we've got a chrome handlebars. Now another difference between the Bullet and the Classic is the handlebars, I've been reliably informed, are slightly higher than the Classic 350 handlebars. But let's not confuse them with the touring bars, which are a little bit higher still. So the Bullet handlebars are slightly taller, but you can get touring bars and go a bit more if you wish. I believe if you buy the touring bars, you may have to change some of the cables to get it to work properly, so that they reach properly. Now, moving back, the colour schemes on the Bullet are different to the ones on the Classic. The Classic tend to have a bit more chrome, tend to be a bit more blingy. The Bullet paintwork is generally black, although they do a dark maroon as well. So there's 2 blacks and a dark maroon. One of the blacks has got a chrome engine and chrome exhaust, and the other black, this black, has got a black engine and a black exhaust. This is called the rose gold version. And another difference, which I've mentioned before, is that the pinstriping on the Bullet is actually put on by hand. So it's painted by a chap or a lady in the factory by hand. Whereas the Classic, I believe, essentially is stickered on. That might be a bit simplistic, but that's my understanding of it anyway. Moving back a bit further, we've got the seat. Again, a difference between the seat, a one-piece seat on the Bullet and a two-piece seat on the Classic. Of course, on the Classic you can take the back seat, the back portion off, which gives it a certain look, a charming look. Really suits the bike. If you're not going to take pillions, I'd say take your back seat off. But then again, you might want to leave it on to strap luggage to and that sort of stuff. So everybody's different and everybody uses the bike in different ways. What I would say is the Bullet seat is fantastically comfortable. And now that's not to say the Classic seat isn't. The Classic seat's a comfy thing to sit on. I know I've had both now, but this is genuinely, well, I've said it before, but this has to be one of the best seats I've ever sat on. Talk about all day comfy, and that's with my aches and pains at my age, my osteoarthritis and knocks and pains that are creeping in. Now I'm getting on a bit. So the seat's wonderful. The seating position on this bike, again, because of the seat and the slightly higher bars, I would say it's slightly better, slightly more comfortable than the Classic. But everybody's different and it is subjective. I mean, it sounds like I'm knocking the Classic, doesn't it? And I'm not in any way, shape or form would I do that. I'm a massive fan. As I said before, the only reason I ended up with this was because this was in the showroom at the time when I walked in. I was after a used Royal Enfield 350 and there she was, shouting to me. Had it been a Classic, I'd have bought a Classic. But having bought the Bullet, I genuinely feel that the seating position is slightly better still. The reach to the handlebars, it's very much sit up and beg, old school. It makes you sit up, makes you have a pretty straight back, and the padding in the seat and the thighs and your buttocks is perfect on the seat, and it really is a pleasant place to be tootling around all day. The actual triangle of handlebars to backside to feet, again, it's perfect. Now this particular bike has got the Royal Enfield aftermarket sort of wide pegs on. Again, it came with them, so I didn't have a choice. But very comfortable things, and the actual stance that the bike puts you in is, for me, it's perfect. Now I'm 6 foot tall and north of 17 stone. At the moment, quite a bit north of 17 stone. But so I'm not a small lad, and it's real comfy for me. Really comfy. Suspension wise, now at the front we've got 41mm, obviously non-adjustable. 41mm forks, and I think they've got 130mm of bounce in them. 130mm. The rear ones, I believe, are 6-way adjustable. Again, 6-way adjustable for preload. And I think these shocks, since I bought it, I think they're on the lowest setting, which I'd have thought I would have had to have tweaked them a bit, but you know, I haven't. It's just been comfy from the first day, so I haven't thought it necessary to go looking for a C-spanner and adjust them. For me personally, I haven't taken a pillion on the back, and to be honest, nor am I likely to. But in those circumstances, it may well be that a bit of adjustment to the back suspension may be necessary. The bike handles wonderfully, genuinely, really, really well. Now Royal Enfield have, I believe, bought out Harris Performance, Harris Racing, who were a sort of legendary British frame maker back in the day, and they're still going. And these bikes have been developed between the the frame has been developed between Harris and Royal Enfield's in-house people, and they've done a cracking job. It really does handle well, given the constraints of the performance, of course. That old elephant in the room, eh? But honestly, it pulls much better than you'd imagine. Much better than you'd imagine. So what's bad to say about it? What's bad to say about this bike? Okay, occasionally there have been reports, and to be honest, my Classic suffered from it. My Classic 350 suffered from it. Whether this was early bikes or a batch of bikes or what, I don't know. But I have heard tales of sticking speedos. One day you'll be going down the road, and like I'm doing now, okay, I'm going into a 30, so let's go down to 30, and what happens is I'll probably come to a standstill and it'll stay at 30. But it was quickly resolved for me through warranty. The lad just threw a new speedo at me, so there you are. And off I went. But I do know lots of people who haven't had any difficulties with it whatsoever. And let's face it, in the scheme of things, it's a relatively minor thing anyway. My previous bike as well, the digital display did fog up a little bit. There was a little bit of fogging going on. And it sort of came and went, it disappeared. And you know, 1 minute it was there and the next minute it wasn't there. So that happens a little bit. Build quality generally is very good, whichever one you choose. You know, I really do think this. If you're a bloke like me, who's been on bikes since I was 16, and you like the thought of a bike, you want to have a bike in the garage, you know, my bike's my escape really. Now I'm retired, I don't go to work anymore, and my bike's my escape. It's sort of me time. I don't have to go riding in a big group. Sometimes it's fine to have a bit of company, but I'm just as happy tickling around the roads on this little putt-putt, finding new lanes to go by, a couple of hours out, and then I can go back safe in the knowledge. And it does me. It's like my mental health. And do I really need a big Triumph Tiger or a big BMW GS to do what I'm doing now? I mean, look where I am. I would argue, not that this is a much better, much more suited bike to tickling about little lanes like this than any of the aforementioned. The other beauty of them is they're not much money, are they? I believe the Royal Enfield Bullet, I mean this particular one, is probably one of the dearer ones in the Bullet, in the Royal Enfield 350 range. It's the rose gold one, and the new price is about £4,600. But you can pick them up, you know what motorbikes are like. People sometimes have them and don't use them, and they buy them with the best intentions. I've done it myself hundreds of times, and they get rid of them, don't they? And you can pick them up. You can pick one up for £3,000 with very little mileage on it. And the general, the sort of person that buys a bike like this generally looks after it. You know, he's not going to thrape it. He's not, you know, he ain't going to do any track days on it. he's going to do this sort of stuff. He's going to have a little tickle around on a sunny day. Or if you're brave like me, brave the rain. So, if you were getting on a bit, been on bikes all your life, fancy having a bike, but genuinely can say to yourself, your touring days are over. You're not going to go Italy on it. You're not going to go south of France on it. You're just going to have a tickle around on a sunny day. Then, what better bike is there than something like this? Do you know, it could be argued that the same holds true. I haven't ridden or anything like that, the BSA Bantam 350 that's just come out, the Honda GB 350, but there's definitely, I feel, a lot to be said about these smaller capacity bikes. They do everything the bigger bikes will do better, if depending on what you do. You know, I think so anyway. I genuinely do. The days of 160 brake horsepower Ducati Multistradas, they're probably more than that now. I realise that it's pretty pointless, you know, pretty pointless. But anyway, where were we? Hey, I'm going to do this in one take, just riding around. Typical, isn't it, though? Random thoughts. None of it will make sense. Right, now then, one or two of you have been down here, I know that. And perhaps I should have brought you through this but I've brought you back down to the Magic Tunnel. Well, I haven't brought you back down, but I brought me back down. Let's have a look in here. There we go. Let's have a listen to this little bike. There you are, the Magic Tunnel. The last time I came through there on a Royal Enfield, I came out the other side on Triumph Bonneville. Hey! Yeah. Well, Bonnie's gone now, I'm sure. Its new owners, I hope its new owners getting a lot of good use out of it. Great bike. But honestly, not as good as this for what I need. For what I want a motorcycle for. I was seduced by a bit more power when I rode it, and actually, eventually, I think I've got there. You don't need it. You don't need it. You don't need it for what I do. There should be a caveat, shouldn't there? You know, there should be a bit of, if I'm too up with loads of luggage, and like I said, I want to get down to. It depends, doesn't it, if you're young and you've got plenty, and you've got the money, and you've got a 2 week off, and you want to get down there, like I said, down to Italy or bottom of Spain or something. You need to be able to get on the Autobahn or the Péage and whack down there, don't you? And this is wouldn't be good for that. Now, having said that, let's just put that to bed as well. You know, I say that it wouldn't do it. Do you know, it would. It would. This little bike will do 60 to 70 comfortably. Absolutely comfortably. But it's not going to do 90 to 100. You know? So if you want to get... So it would do it, absolutely. It'll just take you a bit more time. But then it comes back to the old man thing, doesn't it, eh? If you're retired, if you've got plenty of time, who cares? So you could easily do it, and I'll tell you what, on this seat, in this seating position, you'd be really comfortable, you know, I bet you wouldn't have all the aches and pains when you got down there that some of these other riders do. But anyway, it's horses for courses, isn't it? So there you are, that's a few quick thoughts on my Royal Enfield Bullet. Now I don't know where I go here. Where shall I go? I don't know. Nice cafe here on the left called Wetton Mill. And just up here, if you keep walking up here, there's a place called Thor's Cave, which is going Guess what? Guess what Thor's Cave is? Is it ice cream shop? No. Is it a steam engine? No. It's not a cave, is it? Oh, it is that. It's a cave. This is Derbyshire now. I think we're in Derbyshire or Staffordshire. I'm not sure. We're on the border, really. We're on the border. Somebody said once that the best, Derbyshire gets all the press, but the best, some of the best scenery in Derbyshire is actually in Staffordshire, and it could be in Staffordshire here. In fact, if I was a betting man, I had to put my money on it. I'd say yeah, in Staffordshire still. But you're not far from Derbyshire, and we're only getting fall out about it, are we, eh? We're only getting fall out about that. Right, so what I'll do, well, the rain's holding off now, so that's good. That's wonderful. Oh, I'm not quite sure what this is doing on fuel, but I think it's got a 12-litre tank on it. Let me just have a quick look. Come on, mate, come down here. Are you waiting for me? Okay, stop there then. Thank you. So, I think it's 12 litres. Something like that. I need to fill it up really, just and then work it out, don't I? Thank you. Out with the collies. That's Thor's Cave over there. I can't see it now for the edges. In fact, if I can stop up here somewhere, yeah, I'll probably stop in here actually. Take a picture. Okay, so there we are. Just a few thoughts riding round. I'll just try to take a picture of Thor's Cave for you. Hope it comes out okay. It's actually not a bad day. It's certainly not cold. It's like sort of mid-September. You know, I try and kid myself early in the season when it's like April, May. I sort of kid myself that the weather's still good in September and even into October. And so, I know sometimes it is, but it was beautiful in August, and then all of a sudden September came, and we're getting sort of record rainfall. Been quite wet and horrible. Now I don't know where we are now. Grindon 2.5 apparently. Grindon. Yeah. I'm a little bit out of my depth up here. But anyway, that's a quick look at sort of a bit of a review. If you're an old man, that's like putting youngsters off it, but it's a perfect little bike, this says. Just get one and try it. The problem is they get under your skin, and there's no point in doing it. I don't think a little test ride can do it justice, particularly on a brand new bike, because they loosen up, you know. They definitely loosen up, and they get better and better with time. You know, you really want to be riding one that's done a few thousand, that's broken in nicely. Probably a second-hand one. Try and ride a second-hand one. Oh, the other thing is that the running in procedure, that's a bit tedious on them, because it has to be very gentle at first, and oh my goodness me, it can be a tedious, long-winded job. But at least then you know it's been looked after. Right, I'm going to love you and leave you. So, yeah, I've got nothing but good things to say about these Royal Enfield 350s. Now, obviously they come in different flavours. There's the Meteor, and there's the Hunter, and there's the Classic, and there's the Bullet. So you can take your pick, really. Whatever suits you. If you want a cruiser type, slightly cruiser type, get yourself a Meteor. But yeah, what a wonderful... I mean, I believe they've gone from selling 100,000 bikes. Let me stop here, hang on, I'll stop here and I'll turn you around. Yo, 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 yo. I believe they've gone from selling 100,000 bikes about 10 years ago, and now they're up to 1 million. It's tenfold. They're doing something right, aren't they? They're definitely doing something right. Okay, so let's turn you around. Okay, so I've turned you around. I'm going to carry on now, have a little tickle round. I'll let it carry on running a bit and put some soppy music on, because my missus likes that. And I wish you all well. Watch out for the potholes and the lunatic drivers. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye. But you couldn't change it. Hey, it's not right or wrong. It's about trying, find the